Hello everybody, this is Shrike from ShrikeGames.com as always. And here we are playing Star Wars Ep1 Racer. And we're going to select new. We're going to actually pick Clegg Holdfast, who we actually won from the last episode, at the end of the last episode. And we're going to go to Malastair 100. Now this is still in the amateur circuit, so it'll still be fairly easy for us. Let's start the race. Now this race introduces another concept which isn't readily apparent. And in fact, as a kid, I never clued into it. Well, I did, but much later. And went, oh, I could have done that instead of crashing every single time? Yeah. So let's try this viewpoint again, I think. Look at those engines. I love this game so much. It's got a special place in my heart. And I really wish more people knew about it. Of course, it was popular and it was well known. But because of the stigma with episode 1, I don't think it was nearly as big as it could have been. Now they did make another one, Racer Revenge, and it was pretty much a quarter of the content as this one had. It's really not as good. So I much prefer to play this one, the original. Let's actually switch our views. Pull back! Pull back! If you do not pull back on the joystick there, you will crash. And you will burn. I used to, as a kid, just literally go off that, holding forward still, right? Which brings your nose down. Well, if you bring your nose down off a jump, you're going to go toward the ground.
It's a new lap record!
Which means you're not going to make that jump. As you saw, I barely made that jump as it was. And if you're holding down forward to go as fast as possible, you will be punished for it. And you will not make the jump and you will crash. So I used to repeatedly, every single lap, I would have a crash. But if you pull back, you raise up your nose and you actually go further. Of course, you do slow down a little bit. But the whole point is that you get more air to make across the jump. And do they straight up tell you that? No, they don't tell you that at all. It's up to you to figure it out and to use the tools available to you in order to make it happen. Oh, there we go. That was much better. Turn. This corner is also another one that's punishing you for not slowing down. See, I gotta repair it now. You see my engine actually got less bright there because it had to slow down.
It's a new lap record!
So you can't exactly repair when an engine is in full use. And you can only repair one engine at once. Now the amount of pit droids you have, and as well as the number of pit droids will make repairing faster during the race. And the better cooling stat you have, the faster or the better job you'll have in keeping the heat down when you're boosting and you get heat warnings boosting too long, because you're basically overloading your engines to make them go faster. You do this, which of course creates additional heat and you can't keep up with it, but the better cooling you have, the more you can do. Alright, that was a bit excessive and it didn't help me at all. I didn't need to repair it, it's the third lap. So some tracks like this are really short, and others are going to be very long. You know, some of them might take a minute and a half, 2 minutes per lap to finish. But of course, they're just gradually increasing the length of the tracks right now. Alright, we're gonna go to Vengeance. Now this track, we're going to want probably a maneuverable guy. So let's pick... We don't have a whole lot of choice at this point. We still gotta unlock them, of course, by winning. Let's upgrade.
Change your mind?
Change your mind?
Can
Can I upgrade acceleration a little bit? Can't upgrade my
You
turning from
black
here.
you buy, huh?
No, I'm not gonna bother.
Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come
Oh,
here.
quit your
they
bitching.
met-
We give you business, right? So again, they're still introducing new track themes.
Bud Sang is down there. Well, I thought he was serving 4 life sentences here at Uvo 4.
See, I liked how they have the commenter say something at the beginning of the race. Typically, if you have a record already set, all they'll say is, the world record holder for this track is blah. And by clearing my data before doing this LP, we actually get to hear a lot of the clever tidbits of information that the commenters give. I wish they had the commenters throughout the races almost. Of course, you'd want to be able to turn them off, but I think they're like a really nice touch. And they are actually, I believe they're the voice actors from the commenters in the movies. So, they actually went all out with this game, and it's really well done. And this is like a long time ago too. This is like the N64. It's pretty cool. I could be totally wrong, and maybe the movie took it from here, but I'm pretty darn sure that the movie came first. Pretty sure. Oh shoot. Then again, I'm not exactly a movie buff or a history buff, so I could totally be talking out of my ass. I've been known to get things wrong. Now this is a new... Oh shoot. This is another new concept that they're introducing in these kind of racetracks. Is these kind of warp tunnels. Suddenly you're not on the ground. You're just speeding through these 3-dimensional tunnels. You can pull up. You can push forward to go down toward the bottom, or pull up to go toward the top. And these kind of warp tunnels are where the fastest speeds possible are available. Gosh, I crashed like 3 times already. Hey, Futsang, how you doing? But the fastest speeds you can ever reach in the game are within those tunnels. Boosting through those tunnels, you can get well over 1,000 kilometers per hour.
It's a new lap
I'll
record.
show next lap how fast I can go, even with this slow pod racer. But the world records for going the fastest in pod racer are all set in those warp tunnels. I guess it's because of low friction. But they're also really dangerous because there's a ton of rocks, as you saw flying around. There's other obstacles that you have to dodge around. And yeah, that's pretty much... As the tracks get more complex, those will also get more complex. There's one track where you have to enter those warp holes, but it's actually on the floor of the track, like just on the floor here, and you go. So if you don't slow down to enter it, you'll just go smashing into the wall on the other side. Oh jeez. Luckily it turns sideways and not vertically. Alright, let's try and boost through here. I'll show you how fast. No. Like, I can go over 700, 800, and I'm starting to get warnings. Oh my gosh. I was spinning around! I just kind of lost control there for a second, so... Do that. Back, there we go. So yeah, I got over 800, and I'm not a fast pod racer. Imagine how fast you can go with max out top speed, max out acceleration, etc. You can go insanely fast.
It's a new lap record.
It's one thing this game does is allow you to do pretty much whatever you want. If you want to go really fast, you can go really fast, but you gotta be good enough to be able to do it. And even if all your pod racers have maxed out stats, which I don't even know if you can do, but even then, there will still be differences in driving. Like I said, some of them are just naturally not very maneuverable. Others really are. Some are actually really fragile, that if you tap walls like this, you're going to take massive damage. Others are really tough and can take a lot of hits. So you kind of want to find racers that fit your playstyle, I guess, your ability. Of course, I'm just trying to show off all the different racers, so I'm not picking my favorite. Normally, all I do is play Anakin or Mars Glow, for the most part. Let's boost. Oh my gosh. Oh, Jesus, I hit that again. Stop hitting that. As you can see, because I'm screwing up, it's hilarious. Of course, I'm trying to talk and make this interesting while racing, which kind of makes it harder, but even so, I'm not terribly far ahead of them. But again, this is still the amateur track, so they're not putting up much of a fight. Even with me crashing, they're being very forgiving. As you can see, this is a longer track. Over 5.5 minutes just for this one track. Bam! First place. Oh yeah, and each of the pod racers actually has different things they can say. You can taunt the other racers. It doesn't actually do anything, but you can taunt them. If you double tap the repair button, then you will do different callouts. So it's kind of cool that they actually have the different alien languages. Of course, Anakin will talk in English. We just got Fud Sang's ship. His pod racer. Oh, we were 8 seconds ahead of him. Not bad. Alright, I might as well finish off the amateur pod racing circuit in this episode, so let's go to the Spice Mine Run. Mars Guo. This is where we get him, and I absolutely adore him. So we want a fast guy for this track, preferably. So let's see, who do we got that's preferably fast? You know what, let's go with Fud Sang, just because we just got him, and let's upgrade him.
You'll not find a better deal anywhere,
upgrade.
I think, huh?
Acceleration would be good too, but I can't afford it. Alright. Da 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 da.
Would you check out the size of those engines, Mars? Whoa, is raining unbelievable!
Yeah, Mars Guo is very, very fast. I agree, his engines are huge, which makes him very, very wide. So if you are driving through narrow spaces, he's not that good. Wide open spaces, he is pretty much, in my opinion, one of the best racers. Now, this is a track where they actually have started to branch off more with options for where to go. As you can see, we've already passed a whole bunch of different forks in the road. And they are all of varying lengths. There's another one that comes out like right there. I'll try and show off a couple of them, but I'm showing off the route that I usually take right now. I always take this left path. It is ever so slightly longer than the... Oh, frig me. But thing isn't that tough. You would think he is tough, but he's not. Yeah, that left path is slightly longer than the middle path, but it lines you up much, much nicer for at the end where they all merge together. Where the middle path has this jutting out rock that is very, very easy to hit. So I tend to take. Oh, frig me. Okay, I gotta pay attention some more. So no one wants to just watch me crash, right? It's not like everybody blobs explosions or anything. Jeez. Oh, shoot. I'm playing these racers that I'm not terribly familiar with their controls because they don't respond very well. Again, here's another fork in the path. Of course, this one doesn't really matter. You can actually see the other one go under us right there through the grates. Might be hard to see, but one of them will bring us out on top, and one will bring us out on bottom. See, we're on bottom here. The other one. Dang it! Oh my goodness. Fud Sang is really not my kind of racer. course, you have slightly more space on the bottom, which is kind of why I tend to take the bottom.
It's a new lap record!
One second. My dog was barking extremely loud at absolutely nothing. I apologize. Alright, so we're gonna go right this time. And as you can see, it's pretty radically different. Well, it's not radically different. There's a tunnel there, which brings you out. Instead of going around the long way here, which I should have taken the tunnel, it brings you out right there. So you just go straight onto this bridge instead. So if I take the middle path here now to show that off, we'll see that it is slightly faster. Hold to the left of this. There's a jutting rock! And then you try and, oh my gosh, jutting rock! And then you got the It's just 1,000 times easier just to take the left path and take the, 1/10 of a second. Because if you are going faster there, and you don't have an agile ship, you're not going to be able to make that turn. And even if you do, it's not an easy turn to make. Take it the second way. So, as you can tell, I kind of have a lot of these tracks memorized. Because I played it pretty much all the time as a kid. All the time. I would switch between this game and LEGO Racers, which is actually radically different in race style. If I played Pod Racer for a while and then went to play LEGO Racers is like 1/100th of the speed. Oh, I didn't want to boost there. My bad. I actually did not want to boost there. But yeah, LEGO Racers is already like 1/100th of the speed. So it's really, really slow and easy. When I go from pod racing to it, it's like literally the easiest thing in the world. Pretty much.
It's a new
lap
record!
It was to the point where I could literally win the races with my eyes closed in LEGO Racers. That was absurd. Like, I would show my mom, I'd be like, watch me and I'll win this race in LEGO Racers without actually looking at the screen. I had them all memorized, and it was slow enough compared to Pod Racer that I could just do it. Alright, I guess this time we'll take the right path to show that as well. Although it's really not optimal. Take a much wider girth. It doesn't line you up nearly as well. It does line you up better than the center does, but not as well as the left. So I think the left is definitely the best. Oh! Well, there's the part of the track. Those things drive around, so they're not always in the same spot. And back there was that huge crane or whatever that we took the first lap, went under it. That moves back and forth, so it's not always in the exact same spot. I've crashed so much in this track. And this is not a difficult track. I'm gonna play with Pod Racer on this one. I really like the more agile racers. Mars Guo, although really, really fast, he actually is agile. You can control him fairly well. His biggest downside is how wide he is. He's even wider than Fun Sang is here. So. Just going to do that now. Now, of course, you can turn sideways and stuff, but turning sideways does slow you down. A little bit, I believe. Oops, and makes it harder to turn. Really should stop fooling with that kind of stuff. Again, this is the amateur track, so. Oh man, this video is gonna be long. Race, almost 7-minute race. But with that, you'll get my favorite racer in the, probably in the whole game. There might be one more that I like more than him, which we won't get till much, 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 much later. Mars Guo. With that, This has been Shrike for ShrikeGames.com. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, etc.
Fastest
Pod Racer in the galaxy.
Bud Sang.
I forgot about that. Whoever you win the last track in the circuit, that's who will stand at the podium. As you see, Barsbo came in second, so he's in second place, etc. I don't know why they did that and didn't do like a cumulative or something, but I cannot skip this with its laggy audio. I'm pushing every button. Nope, can't do it. But alright, in the next episode, we will do the semi-pro circuit. We'll start on it. Start to move into the big boys, where it won't be so easy. Finally, it's over, gosh. And you'll notice that we have access to the first race of the Invitational Pod Racing Circuit, which is after the Galactic Pod Racing Circuit. I do not advise trying to win this race. You will not win this race with the current pod racers, especially with the upgrades. Well, you might, but it would be very, very difficult. So I advise just continuing to do them in order and starting with the semi-pro pod racing circuit in Sunken City. See you guys next time. Peace.